Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I'm Piglet here once again, and I'm back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my Let's Play of Super Mario Galaxy for the Nintendo Wii, or to be more accurate, the beginning portion of the start for the Luigi's playthrough of Super Luigi Galaxy. So even then, that last time we actually did completely done with the final few parts of the forms of the Super Mario Galaxy playthrough by simply going through like the last few purple coin challenges, and especially noticeable we deal with Bowser for the second, or in this case, the final boss for the final time for Mario. And, excuse me. And today for this video is the fact that we're about to be getting things started. As I said before, we're about to be going through Super Luigi Galaxy playthrough. See, Fernando, let's get this thing started. And I believe if you manage to get into the icons mode, you would also unlock the Luigi icons head as well. So, without further ado, let's get this thing to it with Super Luigi Galaxy. And from the start, there is no story introduction things or anything like that, because instead, it just jumps straight into the forms of Gateway Galaxy from the start. So, no idea how this is actually represented for, but even then, that's as far as I can usually think about it. So, but I digress. So, you know, how it works for Luigi in this game? Well, this is actually the first time you're ever going to be playing as Luigi in the 3D Mario game. Well, in terms of the console game, because if you weren't able to count, like, Super Mario 64 DS, which is technically the handheld system, but even then, you can able to play as Luigi on Super Mario 64 on a handheld device. But even then, it's about time to able to actually play as Luigi on the console 3D Mario game. So even then, though, that's pretty swell. But all you have to do, you need to unlock him though, is that again, you need to get 120 power stars as Mario, and then once you've done so, then you would able to actually have the ability to play as Luigi. So, but I digress though. So how it works for Luigi? Well, basically he functions the same way for how he does it for Mario, although there are some slight differences between Mario and Luigi as far as, you know, the actual playstyle and all that stuff. Well, normally in the fact that when Mario did manage to run in a normal speed, I would say is that Luigi did manage to run slightly faster than Mario, because as a result though, that if you remember from the 2D Mario games, most notably with Super Mario Bros. 2 The Lost Levels, that the fact of the matter is though, is the fact that he can jump higher, and especially noticeable that he can able to actually just, well, obviously run a little bit, fast or something like that, but also he has a slippery traction every time you go to a complete stop, which even then though, that might be a little bit of a tough challenge thing to do, but even then though, we'll find things out as soon as we're able to continue proceeding for this entire Super Luigi Galaxy playthrough. So, but it's been quite a few, I think it's about since like 2 months ago since we actually did, last time I've played this game. Just because of how the fact that, well, usually speaking, is that Sonic and Pinkie Pie are actually focusing on Super Mario Party for the time, and especially noticeable with how the fact that Sonic is now focusing on Shadow the Hedgehog Let's Play, and especially noticeable how the fact that, you know, he did recently finish up with, you know, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform, so that way we can able to get the best opportunity that we can now able to actually do our Let's Play of Team Sonic Racing, but again, until when it gets to 2020, but even then, no, that's as far as I can usually think about it. So, there's Rosalina again. I've been watching you from here. This place is called the Gateway to the Starry Sky. Yeah, I'm going to be reading most of their text here, just like in forms of how it does in the Mario's playthrough. So, my name is Rosalina. I watch over and protect the, you know, to save your special one, you need the power to, yeah. For the most part though, I don't think I can able to read anything else for that part right there, so even then no, because, well, you know, it's basically exactly the same text as the forms of how it does it on the Mario's playthrough, but the only major difference is the fact that I would assume to say they're most likely focusing on Luigi's perspective here, so disaster has stuck us, just as it has visited you with Luma. I hope you can rescue the Grand Stars. May the stars shine down on you. So yeah, today was actually in forms of the 15th of April in 2019, so generally speaking, that although I will mention more details as soon as we get into the Good Day Galaxy for this point, because obviously that we've only just got started with the forms of Super Luigi Galaxy at this point, so even then, yeah, let's get this thing to it with Super Luigi Galaxy as far as this particular game is concerned. Now, I've known for the fact that some Let's Players out there most notably with the forms of Super Gaming Brothers, especially noticeable with Checker Convoy especially, that those two Let's Players did manage to able to did done the Super Luigi Galaxy playthrough, because even then though, at first they actually did manage to do a little bit of a special editing tool to deal with by the forms of like showing us the cutscene with you know, when Mario did manage to able to like go into the Star Festival and stuff like that, but it cuts straight to the point until it switches over to Luigi's perspective, because well, you know, both gameplay styles shares the exact same amount of power stars, especially noticeable in terms of the story, and that's as far as I can really explain about the forms of the only difference between Super Mario Galaxy and Super Luigi Galaxy simultaneously, even though they might share the exact same stuff as you might think, but the difference is here is of course Luigi's different attributes, so that makes the question about this particular answer for this part, so yeah. Now, I'm going to say this right about now is the fact that I'm actually going to do, when it comes to collecting power stars in this particular run through, I'm actually going to be doing the exactly the same method as of how it does it on the Mario's playthrough, because I don't have no idea, I was originally trying to able to actually go for a different route this time, but it's just that I find it a little bit time consuming, to be honest with you, because even then, I know for the fact that some people seem to prefer the actual normal way by simply able to actually go through like, you know, for the majority of the time, but even then though that, you know, the ones that you have to go through like 105 power stars and then like a few stars later, then you would able to come across into the purple coin challenges later on. But, you know, you get the idea for that point, because I like the way how I do that, so can't be the same applies by the forms of Super Mario Galaxy 2 as well, but again, whenever we get to, like, at some point in July, in the forms of the second half of, you know, in 2019, so generally speaking, that's as far as I can go for this point. So here's a Grand Star got trapped inside this terrible looking machine, even though it's going to be used for, like, something awful about it, but even then though, that's as far as I can really think about it for the time, so yeah, I do apologize if my voice is actually going a little bit off today. It's because, well, recently I've got myself my bad sore throat at the moment, so hopefully I might as well able to make myself better for the time, and even then though, that let's just hope if that will able to make it happen, so but I digress though, but even then though, it's all tomorrow anyway, and I shall be able to actually make myself better, so as far as start bits are concerned with Super Luigi Galaxy playthrough, I might not get most of it though, because as you can tell, that since with the actual sequence, with this, you know, the Star Festival sequences, in originally from the Mario's playthrough, is now no longer a thing on Super Luigi Galaxy playthrough, just because, again, you cut straight to the point until you get to the forms of the Gateway Galaxy straight away, so generally, that might be the only differences here. So, and speaking of the actual deaths, I don't know exactly how many times I might as well die in the forms of this particular run-through, but, I might as well find things out by then. So even then, though, let's go ahead and rescue the first Grand Star. So, yeah, you probably get the idea. So even then, though, as you can tell, I've managed to got myself 49 star bits instead of, like, the usual 74, star bits, unlike any forms of how it does it in my Mario's run-through of the game. But generally speaking, I'm pretty much going to be okay with that, as long as I can able to actually keep on farming those star bits until the later stages, even with the forms of the later missions to top it all off. So, anyways though, and it's still, we got ourselves the forms of the Comet Observatory, which, by the way, we need to go through all that stuff again, because, you know, generally speaking, it's kind of like how he did on, you know, you have to replay through the game 4 times just to get to the real ending of the game, like in the forms of Sonic Heroes, and especially noticeable with you have to replay the game 10 times in order to actually just to see the true final identity ending in Shadow the Hedgehog. Like, you have to get like 10 endings and all that stuff, which is sure, it might be good for replayability, but sometimes missions in Shadow the Hedgehog is super tedious, which I'm sure many of you already know about this, including Sonic, so the beacon is late again. It shines weaker, maybe only as bright as a class 6 star, but at least the poor Lumbers will survive now. Oh, thank you for saving the Grand Star. These star people are my family. They mean so much to me. Welcome to the Comet Observatory. It's my home, and also home to the Lumbers. You see, we travel the starry skies. We pass by this area once every 100 years, but we suddenly stopped in front of this planet. A strange force had launched onto our ship, pulling away star bits and our power source, power stars. Our ship had lost power, so it entered a deep hibernation state, in which it could not move. Those who took your special one picked up the power stars and discovered the power to cross the universe. Please, I have a request. This observatory uses power star to protect or project images of the galaxies that are scattered across space. And there's a chance we could use our few remaining stars to look for other power stars.
Look!
These round domes are called domes. We observe galaxies from domes such as these. But the only one that is working now, powered by the power star or the star power you restored, is this one, the terrace. Please go to the terrace and try to recover the power stars from the galaxies you can see from there. If we do that, we will be able to restore the Comet Observatory's ability to fly like a starship. Then perhaps we can pursue the thieves who run off with the power stars. So yeah, that's as far as I can actually think about it for the time, because even then though, as far as story detail is concerned, I'm most likely gonna have to mainly you know, talk with the folks of the actual speech bubbles exist. So the only time the exception is tutorial based, because obviously that we already know about this basically, because even then though it plays exactly like how it did on the Mario's playthrough, so there's no need to comment it on. So anyways though, we need to go back onto the pull star mechanic thing again. So this means I have to go able to actually decide to able to like you know, hold up my Wii remote in front of my sensor bar again. So but again, it's been about 2 months since I've actually last time I played this, so just because other things to mainly focusing on. So anyways though, so we're going to be heading back to the Good Egg Galaxy again, but this time around though, we are playing as Luigi. So hopefully when we get to Super Mario Galaxy 2 though, then it should get a little bit more different than what we used to. So Dino Piranha, the first mission. So, well, in this case, the next mission, quote unquote. And yeah, this time around though, my game somehow just takes a little bit of a while to load, because of the fact that, well, I think it's mainly something to do with my my fast reflexes for this part, so you get the idea for that. It's nice to be back in this game, so yeah, I'm very surprised about this actually. So, as I said before, today was actually forms of the 15th of April in 2019, so today is going to be Reggie's final day for his Nintendo job, because even then though, that he's now retired for that particular future point and onwards, which is kind of a shame, because even then, there are a lot of people, especially fans out there, who always attempt to enjoy Reggie's personality, most notably with the forms of like some memes everywhere, especially because of the most famous one of the bunch is "My body is ready, my body is ready," especially because that I remember that a long time ago, that in the forms of like the Sonic Generations PC version of the game, that it just has like the insane amount of mods, most notably with the forms of like the Reggie Zone, which even then it contains on that particular mod, it's just a simple straight line, and especially noticeable with a picture frame of you know, Reggie himself, and as soon as you touch him, then the level ends. Oh man, that just feels kind of hilarious to me though, whenever I managed to solve that. And specifically, whenever I watched Kumon My 456 video of that particular PC mod video, that just makes me laugh every time if he managed to able to get the top of it all off. But hey, at least it's pretty cool to say the least. But I don't know who's going to be taking charge, although as far as I know, that Doc Bowser were able to now take in charge for the actual like the replacement now. So even then though, that I really do miss the old days basically, especially because that, you know, Reggie's "My body is ready" and stuff like that. But you know, it did only happen whenever he says that as soon as when Wii Fit was being announced. So I think Wii Fit has been out for about almost 11 years for this point now, and as you can see, I'm having a hard time trying to actually get some more star bits by trying to hit those little red crystal stuff on the actual boulders or rocks. Generally speaking, when it comes to like Super Luigi Galaxy, I think this is more accurately the most well, I would say the forms of how the fact that in Mario's playthrough, and specifically in Super Mario Galaxy game, that I feel like that the Mario mode is actually really easy. But as for Luigi mode, it's actually a little bit more a hard mode for the game, just because, well, if you really want to go after more star bits, most notably if you really want to destroy those boulders, well, you have to deal with the most slippery traction ever. Especially noticeable, you might actually come across into most certain deaths, and especially noticeable, there might be some slight differences between the Mario's playthrough of the game, and especially noticeable with the forms of this particular playthrough, because even then, whenever we get to the forms of, let's just say the Cosmic Comet Zone, or in this case by the forms of the Cosmic Comet missions, because you know exactly what I'm going to talk about here. But even then, for now on though, we'll just have to wait and see what happens there, just because, well, we haven't got that there yet. Because even then, especially with the forms of the Fountain Dome, basically. So, generally speaking, that's all I can really think about for the time. And there are some slight differences here and there as well, but again, we'll find things out as soon as we continue proceeding for this particular run through at this point. So, and generally speaking by this point, is the fact that I would say that the Super Luigi Galaxy playthrough might actually go a little bit more quicker and faster at the same time too, as you can tell, because most of the time though, whenever I looked upon speedruns of this entire game, well, to be more exactly though, Super Luigi Galaxy mode, and it looks like that most of these speedruns always attempt to go for like Luigi's playthrough the most, just because, well, obviously he jumps way higher, and especially noticeable how the fact that he did manage to able to, like, you know, to scuttle along and all that stuff. So generally speaking, he might be very good to use, but the only thing you need to be cautious about is just the slippery traction. So that might be most notably with that specific cases, mind you. So, but I digress. So let's fly towards that Dino Piranha's egg. So generally speaking, we have to fight through the exact same bosses as the forms of how it does it in the Mario mode. So, as far as I remember correctly, about the fact that, well, the actual old version of our Let's Play of Super Mario Galaxy / Super Luigi Galaxy Let's Play is now no longer existence for our channel, but even then, I remember so much about the fact that I did manage to, for some reason, I just hold up for this particular Super Luigi Galaxy playthrough for quite long enough, just because, well, mainly due to how the fact that with a couple of Let's Plays needs to be doing, especially with Mario and Sonic at the Sochi 2014 Olympic Winter Games, and especially noticeable with that terrible Sonic Lost World for the 3DS, and also Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games, and I still even remember just trying to, like, keep on holding up with the forms of, like, several delays for Super Luigi Galaxy playthrough, but since it's no longer going to be present for this point, well, aside from, well, Sylvester and Applejack still need to get back into Banjo-Tooie, which I know for the fact that that particular Let's Play has been held up for about almost a year now. Well, I would say it's over a year now, but even then, once we're able to actually completely done with some Let's Plays, that I'm sure enough that Sylvester and Applejack will able to actually get back into Banjo-Tooie before, well, they're ever going to be doing the next Banjo-Kazooie Let's Play, most notably with the black sheep of the series, which is nuts and bolts for the Xbox 360, so yeah, you probably get the idea what I'm talking about here. But we'll see. So now he's going to tell us about the fact that with the start bit system, so I'm pretty sure you already know about this, basically. It's kind of weird to see how the fact that with Luigi's neck is still showing up, even when it's like close up or anything like that. Even though it's kind of like the same thing for how it does it on Mario Strikers Charge Football, if you will, but except it's on a metallical form. But how the fact that it feels kind of weird to me, because even then though, it almost makes me feel like my neck is actually stretching or anything, but it happens, because even then though, unlike Mario, well, I don't know about you, but even then though, let's head back to Good Egg Galaxy for now, and looks like I'm actually going to be going for like, I'm not going to speed the whole way through with the forms of some missions, because obviously need to take some time with the forms of Luigi's physics for the time, and you know, to get the idea. So the next mission in Good Egg Galaxy we have is a snack of cosmic proportions. And once again, we need to farm those star bits for the time. So even then, we're able to get, you know, 100 of them. So hopefully we can get a chance to able to get some of it for the time. So, but I digress. So, there's not much else I can really think about when it comes to, like, discussing upon Super Luigi Galaxy playthrough. But again, I will stress that enough again, that I'm probably not going to be able to delay things anytime soon, just because of how the fact that, well, I probably might as well able to point things out right away. I'm actually going to be uploading this, or in this case, every single kind of videos of Super Luigi Galaxy playthrough for this particular week. The only day exception is Wednesday, just because of how the fact that me and Rarity, my beautiful lovebird of mine, that are actually doing something completely different for a change. Like, we're going out somewhere, and hopefully spend some time together, because even then I have not seen Rarity ever since, well, since the Kingdom Hearts 3 PlayStation 4 unboxing videos. So, that seems pretty sufficient right there. So, speaking of the unboxing videos for our channel's sakes, is the fact that we always attempt to go for an extremely odd pattern about the fact that we always attempt to go for the unboxing video for, like, let's just say after the Christmas unboxing video special is finished, and then once in a while though, there's actually already one unboxing video that's already been up since, like, January month. Because even then, the last time it did happen on that, it was actually in 2017, whenever we got ourselves our new replaced Dreamcast. And especially noticeable with the new 3DS XL, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System design, and the most recently, Kingdom Hearts 3, in this case, Day 1 release. So, yeah, this is kind of odd with that particular same pattern over and over again, because even then, though, that we also tend to go through all that stuff, so... But yeah, I digress. So, again, not much to tell, because even then, though, that's as far as I can really say about this. And stupid Goomba, although it's probably because I keep on running into those dangerous hazards very easily, because again, with Luigi's physics has been apparent with this particular game, and same applies for Super Mario Galaxy 2, which even then we'll mention more on that whenever we get to that point. Well, I'm sure enough definitely need to get into that. So, generally speaking, that's all I can really think of for the time's sake. So, even then, and also about the same time, about the fact that Sonic needs to, well, not only does Sonic needs to get back into new forms of, like, well, in terms of Shadow the Hedgehog until next week, then he should be able to actually conclude Shadow the Hedgehog before he's continued doing Super Mario Party along with Pinkie Pie, of course, and especially noticeable with, you know, NES Remix 2. Oh crap, I forgot, he do need to get back into NES Remix 2, gonna think about it, because he has been held up for that Let's Play for almost a year ago now. Well, originally that was back in September last year, but because that video is automatically removed, just because of how the fact that I think most of the time that the video viewers didn't exactly improve upon, just because of the out of place release date by then. So, anyway, so let's go ahead and just get onto the Yoshi's Egg Planet, so just in case we could able to, you know, feed the hungry Luma and all that stuff. But even I know that, what I'm gonna do is the fact that I'm actually gonna be going for, like, I'm probably not going to reach over about 200 of those star bits, because as you can see, I'm almost going to die right there just because of Luigi's physics. So, yeah, you can definitely get the idea of how the fact that there might be some death situations coming up, especially with, you know, with the Fountain Dome, or especially noticeable with somewhat early on throughout the majority of this playthrough, just because of how the fact that there might be some difficult situations with Luigi. So, but I digress though. But I'm sure enough I can able to actually get on this just fine. And as a matter of fact though, is the fact that originally that Stuart, Cap King 74, was supposed to go back into Super Luigi Galaxy by this point, even though that he was going to do that ever since I think he did first time doing that. I think it was in correct me if I'm wrong, until 2016 or 15, even though I need to research on that specific stuff. And the only point he actually got into at this point is actually 10 parts. So, but hopefully though, for my version anyway though, I should be able to actually upload slightly more. And especially notable because of how the fact that we can able to actually jump into, well, Super Mario Galaxy 2 after this. So, especially notable that how the fact that he's also did manage to able to manage to complete his Let's Play of Super Mario Galaxy 2, but the only time he hasn't done that yet is the Green Stars run, which I know he's been held up there for quite a long time because he's, you know, still focusing on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, obviously, so that just in case. Although there are some optional Let's Plays that he needs to come back and continue going, like for instance Smash Bros. For the Wii U, even though he's only done Classic Mode as Mega Man, and especially noticeable with the Jumpstar vs. Plus for the PlayStation 3, 4, and Vita, and that's as far as I can really think about this for the time. So yeah, especially with like some optional Let's Plays, which honestly I feel like the optional Let's Plays to me though is kind of not my cup of tea, just because of how the fact that there are some Let's Plays I'm most likely focusing on for the time, and just to show you guys how to able to actually accomplish certain stuff of how this game offers to be. So, but I digress. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get some more of those star bits from here, especially because of how the fact that whenever we unlock, you know, the Hungry Lumber at some point or another, well, to be more exactly, after we're able to accomplish the Honey Hive Galaxy's 3rd mission. So, if that's to be the case, then I shall be able to actually just to do that for that time. Probably not going to do that for this particular part, but definitely in the next part for sure. But I digress though, so yeah, sometimes I will admit though right away is the fact that sometimes that I always attempt to forget about the forms of like performing some long jumps, or especially noticeable with the backflips once in a while, just because again, with Luigi slipping traction or anything like that, and what the hell I'm doing? What is up with that gravity right there? Oh jeez. Anyways though, so generally speaking that's as far as I can go for that point, and let's just go ahead and continue. But again, not much else to really say about the forms of this particular playthrough, just because, well, once again, I'm going to be going through every single power stars in this game, so just in case, I would able to actually save some time before whenever if somebody else were able to actually be super excited for. Specifically, I've noticed the fact that they, some people seem to be very excited with Luigi's playthrough more than Mario's playthrough. I think it's most notably because of how the fact that, well, yeah, it's about time to able to play as Luigi for that particular point right there. So anyways, let's go ahead and do a nice little long jump for this point here, even though I'm probably going to skip over for those little blue star chips from now on though. And sure enough, I managed to accomplish this mission just about pretty swell. And no matter what though, since I've got enough time for the 3rd and the final mission, well for now on anyway, for Good Egg Galaxy, because even then, after that, then we could able to move on to the next galaxy, which appears to be, well, Honey Hive Galaxy. So, because if you remember from my Super Mario Galaxy playthrough, well, in this case, by the forms of Let's Play of on my LP of Super Mario Galaxy, as far as Mario playthrough is concerned, well, this might be definitely true. So even then, let's just go ahead and point things up back again, and let's head back into the forms of Good Egg Galaxy for the 3rd time in a row for Luigi, and hopefully we can able to actually conclude this. Well, not so much completely though, because you know there's still more things to come for this point. Sorry for a little bit of a awkward belching going on right there, just because, well, I just ate too many cookies, because that was my favorite kind of food when it comes to, like, you know, the different universe or anything like that. So King Collection's Battle Fleet, as far as for this particular mission's name was. So, and thankfully though, with the Luigi's higher triple jump, that way we can able to actually get all the way up to that roof straight away. But first things first, before we're able to actually get on with this stuff, I need to go ahead and once again farm those star bits before, you know, if we actually access to the Hungry Lumber or anything like that. And yeah, that's as far as I can really think of. So anyways though, so let's get some more star bits from here, shooting downwards. And there's another thing I want to explain about this actually, is the fact that, do you remember by the forms of how the fact that, well, both Sonic and Pinkie Pie did already mention about the fact that we actually did manage to get ourselves not only Rayman 1 for the original PlayStation, but also Rayman 2 The Great Escape on the superior Sega Dreamcast version, because that was the best looking version of Rayman 2 The Great Escape. And also about the fact that recently I've managed to able to go myself the 3rd and the final original trilogy for the original Rayman trilogy of games, which we have Rayman 3, I don't know what the actual subtitle for that game is called, but it's like Howling Havoc, which even then though it feels incredibly different between the other two games, just like it forms of how it does in Pac-Man World Trilogy, mind you. So even then, yeah, this is what I mean. But if you do like a triple jump on that particular part right there, it just makes it incredibly easy to be able to actually skip the good chunks of the actual, like, the beginning portion of this mission. So, definitely recommendable though, because especially because of how the fact that, you know, Luigi's jump is super good. Even because of how the fact that you can able to reach higher areas now, and, you know, you get the idea for that part right there. So, but anyways though, there's no point for able to get the coin, because obviously I didn't get hit so far. So anyways though, let's take down this little pokey face right there. And let's not forget about the forms of the power-ups for a moment ago, because obviously if we get into that green pipe we go, well, specifically down here, then we would able to get ourselves our first power-up. So, well, at least if you ignore that particular section, well, for those of you probably wondering, yeah. So, here we go, on to you transformed into Rainbow Luigi, you're invisible. So, yeah, basically it's exactly like how he did for the Mario version, but except the fact that you're playing as Luigi. So, not much different for this point until whenever we get to like the bee mushroom, until when it gets to the point until the next day. But also about the fact of the matter is though, with the boom mushroom or anything like that, even with the fire flower or any kind for that matter, and especially noticeable with the red star power up, which won't make it happen until the later parts of this particular Let's Play. So even then though, that we can expect to sure that we can analyze the forms of some slight differences here and there. So yeah, that's as far as I can really think of from now on though. So anyways, let's go ahead and what the hell? How do I cling into the actual edge right there? Oh, that's kind of weird. And I get hit by the bullet bill, not too surprising right there. But it's most likely because I was going to be in a hurry right there, but because I need to keep on farming those start bits for the time. So let's just go ahead and just skid along, shall we? Man, I still really love this music, especially because that, thank God, the actual Nintendo copyright claims is no longer present right there, because even then though, that, well, if you remember from the Let's Play of Mario Party Star Rush, specifically the Rhythm Ridicule mode, that you know how Diddy Kong and Pinkie Pie did manage to tackle for that particular mode in that game, we actually did point things out with the forms of the Nintendo copyright claims, which that's no longer a thing, mind you, because I'm very glad about it. So, especially whenever we get to, like, the redo Let's Plays of, you know, Super Mario Galaxy 2, and it's sure enough we can able to do a redo Let's Play of Super Mario Sunshine until next year. So, because of that, though, hopefully we can get enough time for able to do so. So anyways though, let's go ahead and grab the coin because I accidentally got hit by that little Octo-Rock enemy right there. And sure enough, we can able to launch ourselves onto the actual battle arena, and I somehow completely ignored that start bit right there because I keep on thinking to myself that how the fact that I wasn't gonna grab as many of those start bits at this point, just because of how the fact that, well, we just skipped over the intro sequence of the entire story. So, yeah, you probably get the idea for that. So, here we go, on to King Catalect for the third time for the entire game. Well, for the first time for Luigi. But even then, though, that's as far as I can try to, like, astonish him for that. So, but I digress. But even then, though, that whenever the first time I played the game for the, specifically Super Mario Galaxy game, on the Mario mode of the game, that I did not even notice about the fact that what the reward I can get if I managed to grab all 120 power stars, but as soon as I realized that I was very hyped about the fact that Luigi's actually becoming a playable character for the first time ever in a console Mario 3D Mario game, but, well, the second time overall, well, if you want to count for Super Mario 64 DS, but as I said this before, that may seem the case, so kind of wish I can just, like, skip over for that part right there, but because, well, whatever. So anyways though, that concludes the third mission in the Good Egg Galaxy, and I think we should probably say this right now, I think we pretty much does it for this video for this point right there. So, overall 4 stars all in all for the first part for the first time, so yeah, that's pretty cool and swell. And hopefully we'll get some more for that time. So join me next time when Let's Play Super Luigi Galaxy playthrough. Is the fact that we're about to begin the Honey Hive Galaxy, and hopefully we might as well finish up with the Terrorist Dome as soon as we can. So see you guys next time. Later, fellas.